In today's video, I want to give you guys a heads up that the PlayStation Plus freebies are available right now. Also, Square Enix is developing an unannounced new IP for next-generation consoles that is looking to aim to realize a next-generation action game experience. EA is doubling down on live service as video games, as the Apex Legends has surpassed 70 million players. And Marvel's The Avengers has gotten a new trailer. This happened a little while ago, but I do want to give you guys the rundown on that trailer ahead of its 2020 release. We'll talk that at the end of this video. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads, and that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. But first up, again, the PlayStation Plus freebies for November are available right now. That includes Neo as well as Outlast 2. You can get them through the PlayStation Store right now. Check out, and they will be available in your library. We already did a pretty in-depth look on both of these titles, but just to give you guys a quick overview, I thought November was one of the better months of PlayStation Plus in a little bit. Honestly speaking, PlayStation Plus recently has been pretty good. I thought for a while after the change of no longer providing PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3 games, the PlayStation 4 games were lacking a little bit, but since me complaining and so many of you other guys complaining online and social media, it seems like Sony took that to heart, or whatever the case may be. They've just upped the quality of the PlayStation Plus offerings, which I definitely appreciate. Outlast 2, probably a game that would have been better served to get around Halloween. However, if a game was an October freebie, that means we would be getting it in the beginning of October. As a November freebie, we get it in the beginning of November, so if you look at it that way, it's actually closer to Halloween. Whatever the case may be, Outlast 2 is a fantastic survival horror title. I don't think it's quite as good as Outlast 1, and I think part of that is just because it didn't have that surprise element of Outlast 1 of just being this over-the-top horror title. But if you're new to Outlast and you check out Outlast 2, you're gonna still have a great time with it. Neo is also a fantastic game. Of course, the Neo 2 open beta is going on right now, so a lot of cool Neo stuff to be had on the PlayStation Store. If you're a Plus subscriber, you gotta check out the first Neo for free, and then the Neo 2 open beta is open for everyone. Everybody can check it out. You don't have to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber or anything like that. You just go to the PlayStation Store, download it, and you can try it out until November 10th. So quite a large beta window as well. As far as Neo goes, I thought it was a great game. Yes, it has its resemblances to Souls, but there is more of a story there that's told to your face. The gameplay is a little bit different. Is it a challenging action-adventure title? Absolutely, it has that same element, but definitely enough different that sets Neo apart from a regular Souls game. Again, both of those titles are free right now for PlayStation Plus subscribers. As we're getting closer and closer to Black Friday, do remember that there are going to be a lot of deals on PlayStation Plus one-year subscription cards, so if you're looking to re-up your subscription, now would be a great time to do so, or whenever you see one discounted. Don't be paying $60 right now, but if you see it for $40, great time to pick it up. Alright, moving on from that, Square Enix's first development division is currently working on an unannounced new intellectual property for high-definition consoles, according to the Square Enix Japan recruitment site. The first development division has a diverse portfolio that includes Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, Saga Scarlet Grace, Romancing Saga 3 Remastered, Romancing Saga Ray Universe, and various other titles, and a large number of staff skilled in the range from fields from consoles to smartphones. Under the section for the unannounced new title, Square Enix says that it is aiming to realize a next-generation action game experience that goes beyond the framework of existing action games with an international team of creators from all over the world. It does seem like that this will be a brand new intellectual property, and the idea of a new IP attached to Square Enix has me incredibly skeptical. We saw what happened with Left Alive. That game had a star-studded cast of developers, and that game turned out to be not very good. Then you've had games like The Quiet Man, and it's just been very difficult for Square Enix to establish new IPs. That's really been the issue with Square Enix over the last few years. They have their tried-and-true franchises that they can always go back to, whether it be a Final Fantasy with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 15. No matter what you think about FF15, that game sold relatively well. Then you look at games like Kingdom Hearts 3 sold very well, and they've got franchises like that. However, they need to surround themselves with other compelling franchises and establish new franchises. Just Cause 4 didn't do that well. From all accounts, Shadow of the Tomb Raider wasn't that big of a success. They need to establish more franchises that they can lean upon. However, games like Left Alive, The Quiet Man, those games just are not doing very well. Hopefully, they can establish those big budget franchises heading into next generation and offer something that gamers are incredibly compelled by, and something that they can, build upon over the next few years, over the course of the entirety of next generation. Whatever the case may be, something like this is always going to have a little bit of skepticism from me just because of Square Enix's new IP track record, but nonetheless, a major publisher working on new IPs, that's also something I'm going to be very excited by just because I'm always going to be interested in that newness element. I just hope Square Enix can deliver this time around. Alright, moving on from that, EA is doubling down on live services as Apex Legends has surpassed 70 million players. Earlier, EA released its financial results for Q2 of fiscal year 2020, and it seems that the publisher is doing quite well. The company's net bookings are up 8% year over year, and the number of unique players in FIFA and Madden's Ultimate Team modes, as well as The Sims 4, have seen notable increases in that period. Most notably, Apex Legends has amassed over 70 million players, which is up from a 50 million figure provided in March, so the game is still growing. Even though it has seemingly lost a little bit of its momentum, it does seem like people are continuing to sign up and people are continuing to enjoy the game. As a result, EA plans on doubling down on live services combined with our core franchises. The quote comes directly from EA COO and CFO Blake Jorgensen, who is showing optimism towards that style of game. Quote, "The strong results this quarter illustrate the power of our live services and our core franchise. Strengthened Ultimate Team, The Sims 4, and FIFA Online drove live services performance above our expectations. Looking ahead, we are doubling down on live services combined with our core franchise. We're investing in games that people play for longer and engage with much more deeply. The focus will continue to drive growth and profitability for the company through the remainder of the year and beyond." When they mention play for longer and engage with much more deeply, what do they mean engage with much more deeply? Well, they're taking advantage of those microtransactions a little bit more deeply. At the end of the day, if you're playing a free-to-play game, no matter how long you're playing it, yeah, it's nice of you to play those games, but they ultimately do want to take your money. It is a business after all, and it seems like with games like Apex Legends, people are investing their money as well for items that you can have in the game. That's the idea of a free-to-play game. I'm not going to hate on that. However, them doubling down on live services, that might worry some people based on some of the recent EA outings. Are we going to get more games like Anthem? That remains to be seen. If EA wants to have its division that's putting out Apex Legends and these live service type games, that's fine. However, I still want that core EA experience, not necessarily Anthem, but a quality Mass Effect title, a quality Dragon Age title. I would hope that at some point Mirror's Edge could make a comeback. You guys get the idea. As much hate as EA gets, and rightfully so, a lot of the times they do have this back catalog of incredibly compelling titles, and I want them to get back to the days of them releasing compelling game after compelling game, because for a long time, EA didn't have this stench and this label that the developers had to fight against. Rather, if you had the EA label attached to your game, that was a sign of the game being great, but obviously the narrative has shifted quite a bit since those times. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up on Marvel's Avengers game overview trailer and the latest details that has dropped out of that game. That's also coming from Square Enix, and this is one of those titles that I could see becoming a very big success and something that they can build upon going into the future. It's Avengers after all. They just need the game to be quality, but Square Enix has released a new game overview trailer for Marvel's Avengers, and the latest information about the game has been published over on the PlayStation blog. They noted a lot about the game, so I'll just go over the nitty-gritty. Asymmetrical co-op is a big focus of the game. We know everyone is wondering how co-op works, and we're excited to go into more detail in early 2020, but they did note it's going to be a big focus. You can fast track straight to multiplayer if you so want. Your character progress will be persistent between modes, so it's going to carry over mode to mode. There are many ways to customize your superhero abilities, and customization is going to be a big element of the game, so be mindful of that. New suits will be cosmetic only. The growing influence of AIM, or Advanced Idea Mechanics, rises from the ashes of A-Day when many people were affected by the Terrigen Mist from the reactor explosion, and post-launch characters will come at no additional cost. How about that? A game like this, you could definitely get some extra DLC revenue by introducing post-launch characters at DLC prices. However, cool to see that Square Enix is going to keep those characters available for free, and hopefully this is a game that does turn out well. That early 2020 period is going to be a big time period for Square Enix. They need to see how Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to do, because they're going to release that game multiple times, so it's imperative that that game sells well, and Marvel's The Avengers could be a wave into a big franchise for them going into the future, because I'm sure if this game does well, it's just going to propel them into creating more games in this same universe. Whatever the case may be, do check out the latest overview trailer. It's about 3 minutes long, and I would give that a look. And if you want a bigger insight into the game, head on over to the PlayStation blog, as they do have an in-depth post over there. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the PlayStation Plus freebies are available right now. Outlast 2 and Neo, some great games there. Square Enix is developing an unannounced new IP for HD consoles that aims to realize a next-generation action gaming experience. EA is doubling down on live services as Apex Legends surpasses 70 million players, and Marvel's The Avengers has gotten a brand new trailer and some new details. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.